Welcome, this is the AP Physics Workbook solution. Here we have Unit 7, Torque and Rotation. The section is 7.I, Collision. Alright, so you could read the scenario for yourself, but what is happening is puck is being hit to these objects here. And part A, this object is a stick and it's pinned down so it doesn't move. Here the puck goes here to the top. This stick is freely allowed to rotate. C, freely allowed to rotate, but the puck's hit in the center. Here, the puck hits on top, but it's also pinned down here. It says it right here. A and C and D, the rod is fixed to the table by a pin. Okay? All right, so scenario 1. You are going to determine whether angular momentum, linear momentum, and kinetic energy are constant. Okay? To do that, we know already, you should already know what kinetic energy is. Okay, and linear momentum, the new part is angular momentum. So let me just give you some notes. All right, so what is angular momentum? Angular momentum is just going to be defined by here. L is equal to moment of inertia times angular velocity. That makes sense. It's the same thing as P equals mv. Okay, what you could say here is the law of conservation of angular momentum for a rotating object. The total angular momentum of a rotating object remains constant if the net torque acting on it is 0. So if it turns, the torque is 0. Initial angular momentum is going to be equal to final. Okay, there's something very elegant about that we're going to talk about later. But to review what linear momentum is, same thing, P equals to M times V. You should already know here. Momentum is conservative when it's a perfectly inelastic. That's when it sticks together. Momentum and kinetic energy is conservative when it's an elastic collision. And when it's inelastic, it's just the momentum. Okay, you should already have these notes in your notebook. Here you go. If you would like to know how the rate of change of momentum of an object is equal to the net force exerted on it. All right, so you could pause the video and try to do this. Welcome back. The first one, where the puck hits it and it's pinned down, we would say that the angular momentum here, it does have a angular momentum that is, okay. The check mark here indicates that the quality is constant. And X is that it changes during the collision. So linear momentum changes during the collision and kinetic energy changes during the collision. B, that the quality constant is the angular momentum constant in the scenario? Yes, it is. Is linear momentum constant in this case? Yes. Is kinetic energy constant? No. Does it change? Yes, it does. Okay. Remember, it hits it above here. Okay. Spins. The linear momentum also changes because of the collision. Part C. Is angular momentum change? Yes, it does. Linear momentum? Yes, it does. And kinetic energy? No, it doesn't. Okay, exactly like what I said here. Kinetic energy, okay, is only for an elastic collision, but when it's stuck together, there's no kinetic energy. That is conservative. All right, so part D. Is kinetic energy constant or is it changing? It's changing. Linear momentum, it is changing, and angular momentum, it is changing. Okay. Next, you're going to rank the cases accordingly to the case to the right to see which one has the least rightward momentum to the most rightward momentum. Again, this is just talking about linearly. Okay. Linearly. All right. Pause the video. Try your best. Look at how it's ranked. All right. So the least here is what? It's either A or D. And we know that the greatest is either B and C, because take a look. For linear, it's either this, this, this or this. So these two are out. B and C are what? Are the most rightward one. So we can just write B and C, and they're the same. A and D, okay? These are the both ones that are pinned down, all right? These are the pinned down ones. So I could write, this is the pinned down, all right? Okay. I'm going to stay here. Look at the way it's being collided. Okay, these are different. So I'm going to write here A and D. D is going to have a slightly more momentum than A, but B and C will have slightly more than D. All right, pause the video because here I'm not going to give you the explanation, okay? So I wrote, puck A has no linear momentum after the collision. It's pinned down, it hits it. It has no linear momentum after the collision. Puck B and C did not lose any linear momentum because it undergoes a perfectly inelastic collision. Therefore, they have the most rightward momentum. Undergoes a perfectly inelastic collision. All right, if you want to know what a perfectly inelastic collision is, it's right here. Gets the two objects stick together after collision, so the final velocities are the same. Lastly, puck D. Why did I say puck D has a greater momentum than puck A if A has no linear momentum? Puck D will actually lose some momentum, but not all of it after the collision. The puck hits a distance away from the axis of rotation on the stick and made it rotate. So here, you could see that the P final is equal to 0. Here, it's P here is going to be slightly bigger than 0. Slightly bigger. Because, again, this is at x is equal r, x equals to 0, right? So r equals to 0. Here, you could look at it as a distance r, right, away. So here, it's going to cause it to have some momentum to move forward. That's why I had D slightly above A. All right. Part C, rate the cases according to which the case has the most clockwise angular momentum. Again, it's going to be clockwise. Clockwise looks like this. That makes sense, right? Because you see how the object was like this. So a force is going to be here. A force is going to be here, causing the clockwise torque and the clockwise angular momentum to take place. All right, so you're going to rank it here. All right. So if you want to understand what angular momentum is, I provided this scenario for you. Okay, so here it starts off with the initial moment of inertia, which is just I naught, and its angular velocity. Okay, here the skater is spinning on the ice and showing her I, right, the radius of her arms, as well as her angular momentum, omega. Notice now that she decreases her I by putting her hands inwards. So this R, right? So this is big R. This is little r. Right? The I, moment of inertia, decreases. Because the I decreases, the angular acceleration omega has to increase. This is the reason why the skater speeds up when they put their arms inwards. Because final angular momentum has to be equal to initial angular momentum. That's the reason why speed goes up when the angular momentum goes down due to the arms coming in. So you could pause the video and try to attempt this problem. So which one had the most angular momentum? So let's take a look here. We know all of them have it, okay? But I would say B and D have the most. Why? Because both of these has a distance r. If this is the center, notice that there is a force here, right? So here there's a torque that is occur because the puck hits it at a distance r away from the center. Okay? Because torque again is r times F. Okay? So here I would say who has the most? I would say B and D, and they're the same. They're going to be the same because the R's are the same here. A and C, they hit it both at the center where X is equal to 0 and R equals to 0. They don't have to hit it dead in the center, but we know that they're at the same spot. So we're going to rank their angular acceleration at the same spot. Okay. And we know it's going to be less than. All right. So pause the video and I'm going to give you the explanation. Try it first. So I give the answer in two parts. The first part explains why A and C is going to have the least clockwise angular momentum. I said the collision for puck A and puck C occurred right at the axis of rotation. That's what I mean here. Right at the axis of rotation, right here at the center for A and C. Therefore, there was no net torque created because the radius was 0 from the collision. No net torque means no rotational momentum. I could say puck B and D occurred at the top of the stick, right here, top of the stick with a distance r. They hit the stick at the same distance away from the axis of rotation. Therefore, there was a net torque created because there was a force was applied perpendicular to the distance from the axis of rotation. Puck B and puck D have the same torque because their distance value from the axis of rotation is the same. So if you want me to grab the picture here to give you a better explanation, let me grab that for you. Boom, here. There you go. So the R here is going to be the R value here, which is this distance, is going to be the same thing as this R value because it represents this distance. And we know that torque is equal to R times F. Okay, you could have the sine theta here if you want. Okay, but this is what I mean. It's applied perpendicularly. Okay, applied perpendicularly. Okay, but this is the reason why they have the same torque, because their distance value from the axis of rotation is the same. That's why they're going to produce the same amount of clockwork angular momentum. Okay, here you go. These are all your solutions.